Okay. Well, hi.
Now.
Yeah. Hi.
Brute.
Okay.
Do they sell chakrams here?
No.
Damn it.
You could probably find weapons that are... No, not even similar, really. Maybe somewhat similar. You would have to hunt around, certainly. I mean, to be honest with you, though, when I was living here, I wasn't exactly looking for weapons. I was a historian.
I know it's not really the same thing, but I have some spare short swords you could borrow.
I've got a short sword, so I'm good on that front.
Would you like a javelin? Or 2? Or 3?
Those are a little heavy for me. I'll be fine. But thank you.
Might be
I
able to
got
make
these.
something specially crafted.
I hope we're not here long enough for that to happen.
Me too.
Agreed.
So, as you kind of go a little bit away from the docks, and it's much more of a natural dock, more like Slate Cove, where it's like, hey, there's some outstretches of wood. Whereas in like Aradia and other places, like they build, their like own artificial shoreline and whatever and promenade. This is much more natural with like taverns and blacksmiths up across the ridge. And things like that. So immediately you lot go towards the tavern. You do notice, like as you're getting towards bigger streets, the occasional beggar completely wrapped in just natural hides or leathers or cloths, kind of like with a hand outstretched or a small stone or wooden bowl with a couple of coins or maybe a scrap of food in, that you didn't really notice before Barut. They are noticeably new. But anyway, you head to a nearby watering hole, where sailors are drinking and whoring and drinking and whoring, and some of them are eating. With bards playing music. You want to go in and start asking questions about...
Well, I'm gonna ask questions about where I can heal their sick people.
And that's what I'm doing as well.
And these guys are gonna ask questions about the
You're
Great
gonna
Stone.
have a great time.
We're just gonna drink. It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll
that's
definitely do some talking.
Yeah, sure.
Go to the bar.
My first
Eat
question
anything,
is, what is on special? My second question is, what is good? My
Those
third
are not
question...
always the same thing.
No,
That's
absolutely not.
Very true. My third question, and I guess this is obviously not just me asking one singular person the third
I know.
thing.
Yeah. We're gonna
But
do checks, but
Yeah, I'm very much planning on asking around. I mean, these guys are all pirates and sailors and stuff. Asking around's just about, like, weird tales. If anyone has any, like, I've got this map that leads to whatever, or, like, well, I used to sail with a guy who told me that kind of stuff.
yeah,
to see if
yeah,
there's
absolutely.
anything
You're
that
just
stands
doing
out.
the weird shit in the tavern talk. Okay,
Yeah, basically just to see if there's anything that stands out to me that might be indicative of a gatestone or something.
all of you give me a persuasion check. I would say, Virik, are you helping Tobias? Just
Yeah,
kind of hanging out with him, drinking, reacting.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna.
You just kind of hang out with
Yes, you are.
Okay.
'Cause I'm helping.
Aelinor and I are working together.
exactly.
The wee boys are working.
I mean, we're doing something.
We're doing something. See, this is the problem. I feel like I'm good at drinking, but I'm bad at talking.
Exactly. You spend a couple, like you just drop a couple of coins on the bar and buy some drinks, and Tobias is back to his old self and drinking and chatting with these people. Airlaw, you go and like ask like the barmaids and people who seem to be not drunk. And Elstar will say is like, oh yeah, the angels, they're curing the sick out of this statue. They didn't. There's a little building under the statue, and they will cure the sick there, but only one person per day can be cured due to the magics. So they also have to deal with people being desperate. It is what it is, but it's a cure. Now, another thing, Barut, you know there's not really like a church here. There might be like a place. There's a place of worship to your god, and a couple of places of worship like halfling gods. But this isn't a city with a communal church or anything like that, because it's just such a weird hodgepodge of mostly very subtle religion races.
How do they decide who they heal?
They just do. It doesn't appear to be a system. It's not always the closest to the temple. It's not always the most sick. They just sort of decide.
Okay, thank you.
I know where that statue is, presumably.
Not really, but you can figure out. You can wander off that way, ask a few questions. You spent time here, but not enough to know the entire town's layout.
Yeah, fair enough.
If we ever hear this, I'm just going to Tobias. That sounds sus. Like, very sus.
What does that mean?
Oh, like, something's up. Why one a day? Why random? Why not the sickest?
Yeah.
Back to drinking. Yeah, that's all we got on it.
More peanuts! Are you guys gonna go off and wander around? Hey!
Oh my god!
If they don't come and get us, I feel like we're not even gonna notice them.
I was honestly kind of expecting they're just gonna go look for that, because they know you'll be
honestly,
here.
Why would they get?
Exactly.
No, you guys have a different mission.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get information about the
Exactly.
To be fair, I am asking. I'm just clearly not asking the right questions.
I have an idea. I'm gonna start telling tall tales, like over exaggerating and like telling things completely wrong, making them seem a lot more epic, of like stories that we've been through, to try and trade for other tales.
Get people to one up you and be like, well,
Yes, exactly.
Well, let's deal with the sober people.
Yep.
As you wander through Palmaro and its nice little clay and brick houses, and people who are not incredibly polite, but not incredibly rude either. It's kind of a middling. It's very much a middling settlement, all around. You go up the hills, past some of the bigger houses where you see this old white marble statue. It has a lot of the features faded from just weather. Who knows who the statue was of? Doesn't matter now. At the base of it is, there's like spokes. There's like 2 walls and a couple of spokes. And it's clearly like maybe some sort of place where bards would play if there was an event going on. But, it would have been in disrepair, but it seems like it's been cleaned up to a degree. It's in this little sort of circular, maybe marketplace, but a lot of the buildings around it are somewhat abandoned looking, and one side straight up just opens out into like a field, just an overgrown field for farming. You see a lot of the people who are wrapped up here. Some people aren't as wrapped up, and you can see that it appears slightly differently to each person, but it is literally like their skin grows this kind of yellowish brown and just cracks like glass and splinters around it, and where it like meets the flesh, like it starts to get pussy and red and generally kind of unpleasant. Like literally you guys walking around completely normally, a lot of people are like, "Are you mad? Lee, turn back!" Like things like that. Yeah. You see no sign of anyone under the statue. There appears to be some town guard who are like kind of keeping watch on people, and you see someone like rush up to the statue kind of pleading, and they straight up like bash them on the back of the pommel, and it's like, "Don't touch me, you cur!" Kind of like, just make sure they don't go towards the statue too early, while also trying not to get infected.
I'm gonna go up to the person that was just bashed on the back, and I'm gonna say, "Are you okay?"
No, I should be the one who's cured today. I have a family. I have a granddaughter that relies on me.
Well, let's see if this works.
You're just like, there's kind of a little bit of light, a little bit of wind, and the cracked skin kind of peels off and flakes. And you kind of stand up a little taller, and they were a fairly old dude. Seemed to be a half-orc, which means they're probably not as old as they actually look. It's like, you cured me. You cured me. I many blessings upon you of all the gods, every god. Kind of just like rushes past to you quite excitedly back into the town. And other people saw that and will obviously like sort of start moving towards you. Not everyone can walk very well.
Yeah, no, I'll just start healing people as best I can. How many can I heal? 6 from that, and then I also have 2 second level spell slots for lesser restoration, so that's 9 people.
And I will be able to do 3 people with lesser restoration. That's pretty much all I can do. But
It's gonna be a job for a couple days.
yeah, yeah.
You start doing this, start curing people, and you get many thanks. Some people try and give you money, but you're like, oh, no. Many blessings. The occasional mountain elf that's straight up will give you a true blessing from your homeland, which is quite something to not after not feeling it for a while. It's kind of when you're like, you're running out your magical energies. You notice a group of 4 wearing white robes that are a little dirty, especially around the bottom, wearing hoods and masks that are kind of a silver and kind of have like an sort of angelic, sort of cherubish face on them, go up to under the statue. And that's when they notice that like you've cured the 12 people that you just cured. Who are, some of them are like some people are like dancing with each other in absolute bliss because this illness has been like just ruining their lives. And there's probably wasn't a whole lot more than 12 people here right now, because I know there's only gonna be 1 person cured a day. Some people just give up, right? They don't say anything, but you see one of them kind of like wave the guard over, who are just watching this, just like awestruck.
I mean, I actually would have like semi-threatened the guard too, saying the next time they want to knock somebody down, they should mess with someone their own size.
Yeah, miss.
And consider wearing wraps if you're worried about that. I mean, you just cover your whole body and they can't touch you, then you don't need to be violent and rude.
Yeah, and they kind of walk over to the angels, and you see them sort of talking.
I'm going to turn to Eleanor and just say, I have a feeling that they were setting up some kind of racket. I have concerns.
I have concerns about that too. But
It
we've done what we can for today, I think.
For today.
At this point, one of the guards will head over and be like, "You've been asked to leave."
And why?
I wonder why.
This is the angels' place of holy purity to their god. This is insulting to them, and they've asked us to ask you to leave.
May I
Feeling
speak?
the sick is insulting?
You can try and speak to them, but they have told you to leave, so please, sir, madam, would you leave the circle?
What I will do is I will speak with them first, and then I will leave.
Persuasion check.
Is that amiable?
And I'm gonna like step between them, just being very imposing.
Hey.
One of those is better. But they're both parts of the persuasion intimidation crew. That is Rue and Eleanor. And you are larger than this guy. Like, this guy is maybe like halfling. He's like 4 feet. And he's like yeah. Oh, fuck. And actually, you see him just leave.
Yeah.
Like, and some of the other guards are like, hey, wait up, wait, what are you doing? And you see the angels kind of like, if they had not masks on, perhaps they would look frustrated. And 3 of them like start leaving the circle. One of them just kind of waits for you to approach them.
And I go up, and I just I walk up and I approach and I say, blessings be upon you. Now, I have a question for you. It's a very simple one. Why 1 a day?
It's all the holy magic we can muster. It's hard to cure these sick. We do the best we do the best we can. The best that our great Lord Pyth allows us. Now, you're going to start confusing people going around and doing tricks like that. So it would be the best for... It'll be the best for everyone if you stop doing that.
I don't want to confuse you, but holy magic, healing magic, it is magic. I know the people of Goldport are not necessarily welcoming of that. Now, that being said, Pyth, from my understanding, intends to bring radiant light down upon the world through any means that they are able. Is that correct?
They just don't respond.
I'll take that as a yes. So, the radiant magic that flows through us, if not directly from Pyth himself, is at least blessed by Pyth.
We're going to ask you nicely. You come back here again, it might not be so nice. We are the healers in this city.
Will tell you once more, you have never been the healers in this city. You are simply one of many. Now, before I have to ask you very nicely to leave, I suggest you reassess your willingness to accept others. And, beyond that, your willingness to understand that religion is not a basis for a system of government or a system of belief. Religion is simply a purpose put before you, and you are here to heal, not to tell others not to heal. You have a purpose, but that doesn't mean others cannot provide that purpose as well. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
You can give me an intimidation. Dad Barut. Teacher Barut.
Oh, beauty.
You actually see the guy like takes off his mask. Very clearly from Goldport, there's a kind of scruffiness that a lot of Goldbordians have. Little sunburnt in some places, and just says, "Yeah, there's more going on that you don't look. Are you gonna stay here forever? Are you gonna stay here forever and heal everyone? Because if so, then yeah, whatever, you can stay. But we are here for the long haul. All right? I get you. You probably do understand that. You're an elf.
What exactly is at play here? Because we are the type of people who, at the very least, try to solve large problems.
When we were sent here, we cured everyone, and yet more people got sick. And we're not talking about carriers. We have a medical professional in our team. We're not just blindly following faith. This disease should have been eradicated when we first took our ship here. It is not. It is spreading.
With purpose, then. Interesting. So, someone started this, or is causing this, then, you believe? Or something.
Could be someone, could be the fiends themselves. Pox from the underworld turning people to wretched glass.
That doesn't sound like the underworld style, to be perfectly honest. Could be. Haven't been to all of the hells, but I've been to a few of them.
He like visibly shakes and actually takes like a large step back.
Do you have any more information you can give us? A direction where the disease seems to congregate, perhaps? I can sense these things, but it does have a limited range.
No. I'm leaving. Good luck.
Hold on. Wait. Let me be clear about this. We went to the Hells because we needed to save a friend. We are people who work our asses off to try and save people's lives. That's why we're here. We want this disease eradicated. It took the love of my life. You may not understand that, but believe me when I say that I will do everything I can to eradicate this disease so it doesn't take anybody else. So we need your help. We need to understand what this is, where it's coming from, how to deal with it so we can get rid of it, so we can help you. You have a mission from your God. You have a mission from your people. Let us help you.
You can give me a persuasion check.
It can't be 2 in a row.
Oh, damn. Brute with a purpose.
We don't know how it's spreading, how it's starting. It just is. It started before we got here. It grew again. It isn't singulated to one place in the city. Anyone can get infected. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Does it seem to pass at all from individuals to others?
Absolutely.
Are families affected? Living in humble abodes together?
If you're touched by the pox and you touch another and any of the ichor, any of the yellow bile of you gets on them, then they're going to be surely as infected.
So
it's not carried by sneezes, it's carried by touch.
Carried by touch. So then, if it's still passing throughout the city, perhaps it is passing because the city itself is infected.
Perhaps.
Something to think about. We'll do some thinking of our own. Can we find you here?
Every day.
Then if we need to speak, or if we come across anything that might help, we will be back.
He puts his mask back on and leaves quite hurriedly.
They don't like the Hells. They don't like the mention of them. They certainly don't like people who have been there.
You actually notice when he moves quite quickly, there's a jangling from under his armor, under his robes of armor, as he moves.
Well, I can't entirely blame them for that.
No, absolutely not. I wish we'd never been. I'm not certain, but if it passes by touch, it could be something that just the city is interacting with. If it happens to anybody.
If it's an object, I will be able to tell. But
I imagine it's not, is the problem. Could be a curse. There's always that possibility.
Ollie, I'm going to cast Detect Poison and Disease just around here. It's within 30 feet.
There's a couple of sick people. There's a couple of sick people. It's not air-based. Yeah. You can see, so like, you kind of imagine it like maybe it's a form of like, you would see it like heat vision, you know, it would like glow, maybe bluish to you. Wherever the people have touched, there's like a residue. So there's a lot of like hand and footprints in this area of the cracked plague. But it's not in the air. It seems to be only by touch.
So I'll kind of explain that to you. It's like I don't see it anywhere except where people have touched things.
I'm gonna do a little bit of this.
Ooh.
Just, again, same area.
Don't see anything. Other than one of the individuals is a tiefling.
Okay. I'm assuming Nyx, who's flying slightly behind me, is also
And
probably...
Nyx, yeah. The
That's expected. Basically.
acceptable background noise.
Yeah, that was expected.
Oh, yep, he's still here.
Nothing immediately evil around us. Or all that good. Well, you know. Or at least no one, I should say. There's a tiefling over there. And Nyx is behind me. But beyond that,
Well, why don't we go back to the tavern and see what the boys have figured out?
Blackfur said it was mostly centered around the docks.
A lot of people come to and fro in the docks. A lot of people go swimming. Perhaps, it can survive more easily in water if they're touching it.
Perhaps. To the docks first, then to the bar, or should we grab the boys first?
Docks first.
All right.
I have enough magic left in me to test the water.
All right. Docks first.
You travel back through the town. A couple of people like pointing and talking about you. Mostly people here are talking in common.
Hey, if we want to start building up those divine ranks, it's a good
Yeah.
place to do it.
Yeah, like literally, yes.
We were literally talking about this before the show. This party is either going to die or become gods. That is the only two logical ends for this party.
It's very like Baru would make a good god one day. The god are not giving a shit, but also giving all the shits.
All the shits, but none of the shits simultaneously. Yeah.
Yeah. And Erin's already got a character that became a god, became a saint.
Yeah.
So same thing, just in Goldport's faith. There's only one god. They're all the others are saints, but only one god. Totally, believe me. So you head back to the docks. It's getting a little later now. I mean, it's a large town. It's not, a town where the space is used very efficiently because it's just kind of naturally sprawled out. So it takes a long time to get back and forth from places.
As
and it's a
we're
little dark
traveling,
by now.
Baruit is going to be telling Eleanor about like the various like little shops and things that he used to go to while he was here, and like he'll describe the architecture and things, and he'll describe the streets about like how this city did sprawl out. It wasn't just planned from the start. So it is kind of this story, this history of this city, kind of starting from the epicenter, leading out and sprawl. And he'll be like just.
I will be
chattering.
politely interested.
Poor Eleanor.
Yeah. This was a home for a few years, so this is one of those things. Nose in the books, but still paying a little bit of attention to the city.
You go to the docks. Most of the, there's a guy going around lighting torches so that like ships don't crash. There is a lighthouse a little bit further up though, it's a little busy, but the docks are always going to be busy day or night.
All right. I'm just gonna do one or two of those.
The water
Mhm.
is diseased.
Yep,
Not
the
very
water is-
strongly, but you can you can see it like with the waves.
Mhm.
Good to know.
How far does it go out?
As far as your senses can see, but it's not very strong. It's similar to like how people have touched. It's a very sort of residue, but I mean, if someone was drinking that water for an extended period of time, the chances
Also,
would be
look at the
going
drinking
higher.
water. Yeah.
This is I'm sending a spooky message to the guy who we just talked to at the statue and saying the water is diseased. We're continuing to investigate. Best of luck on your search.
Make sure you stipulate that it's the seawater. We don't know about the drinking water.
We don't know
yet.
about the drinking water yet.
By the light of Pyth. Guys, this elf came to us. He's capable of strong magic. The ones that are healing, we need to... No, I think he might be...
You left the line open.
That's been happening. People don't know it's a two-way thing. You just speak.
And I'm going to speak to him again, and I'm just going to say, when I send this to you, you have 25 words to respond with. Just so you know.
Genuinely capable of miracles, then. Alright. Maybe. Just maybe. You can be worked with. Clearly, a little more bravado. He's with his boys.
Yeah. A little bit more confidence. That's all right. That's good. I thought it might spook him a little bit. That's good.
Yeah. The hell, of course it does.
Most of the people who I send messages to just roll with, and they're like, "Oh, this
Most
is
of the
cool."
people either like know the magic to some degree, or like
Or
know
they
you.
know me.
This is just a dude from a city that has like no magic. So
Yeah.
So this is a problem because I can't fix the entire ocean.
Unless there's a source that's causing the problem in the ocean, and we can deal with the source.
My main concern is not a source, it's just people being in the water.
Well, we should tell the city guard to not allow people to swim. It's a good start. Let them know that the seawater appears to be a carrier of the plague.
We need to test the drinking water.
We do need to test the drinking water. We also need to test the alcohol in the bars.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Because that likely has been mixed with the drinking water because it's a tavern in a port, which means that they water things down.
Tavern, though.
I like how much you're nodding, Ollie, because it makes me feel very validated, but also makes me concerned for our boys who have had so much to drink already.
So you're gonna go real quick to like some of the guard and be like, hey, blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
I assume I know, generally speaking, where the actual guard posts are here.
There's a small fort that is more or less a watchtower to get people to hide and run away if the navy show up. But yeah, you can go up to there.
I would go up to the. I'd actually tell Eleanor I'm okay here to just go and quickly speak with the guards and let them know. If word hasn't carried about what we've done already, then I will be able to convince them, I'm sure, at least to consider that that's probably a source of the plague.
Very well.
If you wouldn't mind checking on Virik and Tobias, if they are in a bar, they are drinking, which makes me concerned that they may be infected.
There's nothing we can do about tonight anyway, to be honest with you.
I know, but at the very least, stop them from drinking more. We don't
go
want
up
to
to
have to use our healing magics on them when we could be using it on the people of the city.
Well, it's a good thing we practice those purifying water spells.
Yep, absolutely. We've had good reason to lately. Hopefully not too many more. And I'll toddle off to the fort.
You
And I'll rush back to the tavern.
You have a very quick conversation with some of the guard. They don't know who you are, but stories have started to travel. The guard here in this in Palmyra usually wear a kind of reddish orangey sort of clothes. Some plates of armor, like shoulder pads, but a lot of their armor is made of small discs of a very light ceramic clay. There's a lot of clay in this area, both in and out of the water. And they will straight up be like, okay, sure. Like you just, without rolling, like you just carry enough of a presence that they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And I'll
that
let
word
them know
was
that
spread.
we will be checking the drinking water as well. Where's the best source for that?
Well, the town center has a well that most people use. It's a fountain. Really, the water is brought up from the, Where does the water come from? On the ground, innit? No, but further, like... Is it like an underground sea? I don't know. Does anyone know here? Like, you don't let this conversation continue as long as it perhaps could. But yeah, there's a fountain in the town center where the water brings up, but there's also a lot of wells. But that would be where a lot of people go to get their water. I mean, you know, cities like this, like your job when you're a teenager is carry a bucket of water, fill it up, bring it to a business, carry a bucket of water. You know, you get paid a copper at the end of the day, and you're thankful for it. Hard work.
Walking uphill, both ways.
And then eventually you start going back to the tavern. And when you go back to the tavern, these two are sloshed. They're arm in arm with sailors who are singing tall tales, telling tall tales.
There was something I did want to do while this was all happening.
Go ahead.
This is kind of a long shot, but I kind of justify it because Tobias is wasted in his mind. At some point, like, I don't know, several ales in, I'm just gonna like unclasp my large fur cloak. I was gonna say take off my armor, but I'm not wearing any armor because who does that nowadays?
Yeah, really.
And I'm just gonna kinda, like,
last year.
do one of these and give it to Virik. Like, Virik's just laying there, like, just put this on, be like, here, just hold this for a second. And I'm just gonna take out a coin pouch with 50 coins, which we'll call 57 coins, and just kind of drop it on the counter and be like, all right, lads, who wants to take me on for a coin purse full of gold?
You get many possible competitors. The chance, the people who come up, and kind of some of the friends are like push you up. There's a big burly half orc with some big scars. A mountain elf who kind of spins a blade and is like, "It'd be my honor to take care of this cur." And then a halfling whose friends like, "Oh yeah, you could take it." And I'm like, "Oh well, I don't know. Maybe on a good day."
The halfling is a ringer. Don't do it.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna take on anyone. I'm just gonna be like, all right, put up a gold or something equivalent, and let's have a friendly go of it. It's been too long since I've been in a fight. I've been on a goddamn boat for weeks.
Make me an athletics check for your first
I'm
fight.
gonna go into a barbaric rage.
Can
Yeah!
I use this as distraction to take a couple of coin purses?
Absolutely. Give me a sleight of hand. You do.
Yeah.
Athletics with advantage. That's good. That's a good one. You know what? Let's throw one of these in there too.
There's just like ale dripping off of my beard, like.
I've got your cloak. I'm just hiding in it. Just
That dice just disappeared into the nether.
Like along the floor, you just see like this big mass of fur, like.
You end up stealing around 13 gold.
Hey.
Eleanor, can you give me a perception check? This will happen a bit later. Tobias, you go up with an elf and you start fighting, and he still uses his daggers in the brawl, and you're like, I'm not scared. You're going to defeat him. It's a fair fight, you know. You don't have no respect for elves anymore. You take him on, beat him, win some coin. Then there's the half orc.
That's the thing, is this is very much like a pastime. Like this
Yeah,
is like
exactly.
what we do in the north, so
this is gonna become a thing, isn't
Roll
it?
me
He
again for
fights
the
it right,
next fight.
yeah.
It's working.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The half orc comes up and is like, "You should know, I once punched a dolphin out of the air." And you just,
Mean to the dolphin, but also very impressive.
and then you just one punch the dude down to the ground.
And I'm just gonna look to the rest of the crowd, just kind of like in the reeling pose, like, you should know I once punched an orc in the face.
Whoa! And then one last roll for the halfling.
Yeah.
This dude's a ringer, I'm telling you.
Oh no, he's a ringer.
He's a ringer.
You're like, what's this guy who's like 2'4", and he kind of like unbuttons his shirt and it just zips around you, zips around you and punches you. You eventually wake up in your chair, a little dizzy. You did win 100 gold, which is a lot of money. People are flashing their cash. Exactly.
So I guess it's a net gain of
however many. Eleanor comes in after you're like,
Is that halfling still around?
Yeah, you see his like little group of friends congratulating. And one of them's
yeah,
one of them
Shoulders.
you see, yeah, so they're just about as tall as you. You see one of them is like, you shouldn't do that. That's cheating. It's like, it's not cheating. It's a gift.
I'm definitely gonna just like reach for an ale around me and just point to the guy and be like, "Ah,
Hey!
good fight, little man."
Good fight, big man. Don't take it too hard.
Well, that's how you get stronger.
And Aelnor shows up. Virik just, gets back down to the table.
I'm gonna cast my spell.
Oh, yes. A lot of the drinks have a very, very, very small amount of disease in them, but, like, you see it all over the place. Some of the people here are diseased. They just maybe don't know it yet. It's exactly what you were worried about.
Yeah.
The disease is spreading.
In the drinks, particularly in the water. All right, so I'm.
If you see anyone who's daft enough to be drinking a water, it is just nastiness.
What about the ale?
Ale also in the ale. Will
I'm
was
just
right.
gonna
It's watered down.
Take your drinks.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's just like
It's a port town.
Yeah, it's
Of course
very much
we have water.
sorry. No.
I know
no, but
No, guys, we can't start a panic, but you can't have those either.
Why?
what?
I'm so
I can't
sad.
explain it to you right now because it would start a panic.
What's there to
Instead
panic
we're-
about? It's just
instead-
ale.
We're not panicking. We're not starting a panic. We're just gonna go get rooms and talk upstairs.
Why do we need to talk
Okay,
upstairs if
fine.
there's nothing to panic about? I'm just confused.
I'm just gonna ask the barkeep for like a pair of rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
When does
And
that
pay
not confuse?
pay like 6 silver, get some rooms,
This
and
is normal.
go
That'll be
upstairs.
fine.
I tell
They-
them like if they see a Ruit and describe him that he's
I'm
the best.
very distinct.
Yes,
Many scars.
Big
The
old
armor,
scar.
especially, I imagine.
scars, big black kind of spiky armor,
Sort of a jerk.
sort of a jerk.
No, not sort of. Definitely a jerk. He's an arrogant asshole. That's part of who he is.
And I'll carry these boys upstairs.
Yep.
As we're going up the stairs, it's like, hey, you're such a good friend.
I know.
The best. So are you, Vic.
Hey.
Where did you get that drink?
The table we went past.
Oh, can I have some?
And once
you-
we get upstairs, I will tell them that there is disease in the water, and
Oh.
and we might have to fix that tomorrow.
Yes, we better not drink any water.
No, he's drinking his own wine.
Where's that ale?
So,
Yeah,
when I
exactly.
get-
You have enough alcohol on you to not have to drink the water.
when I get to the bar, I am also like I'm gonna go up to the barkeep,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna say hi. I had some friends here. They may have gotten rooms.
Yes, your bear nut. Yeah, the room up on the.
Excellent.
You go
Thank
up
you.
beside the privies. Don't mind the smell.
And I am also going to do this as I'm in there. And I am assuming I noticed the same thing as Eleanor. In that case, I'm going to just say to him, this is a question that you're not going to like that I'm asking. Do you water down the ale here? The drink?
Absolutely not, sir. We pride ourselves on having the best ale here from the lands. And you know, I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is stolen from the Zalstellan government, so you know it's good.
Then I have
Fresh off the
concerns
ships.
I have concerns about the source. We'll talk in the morning. I'm gonna pat down on the bar, and I'll just say, and you might not want to drink any of that yourself.
And then you just go upstairs mysteriously.
That's very ominous.
Yeah.
Yes.
He called me bear nut. He doesn't get it purified right now.
You head upstairs to Aelinor, trying to stop them to drink, even though they're drinking their own drink, but also they probably usually have more than enough to drink. You're muted, Aaron.
You're muted.
Can't tell if they were infected.
They are, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are super infected.
Oh, shit.
In the water.
It's fine, we can fix it. Our healing magic works.
Great.
Well, that's
Problem
good.
is that we don't know what the source of the disease is, but it's in the water. We are not sure yet about the drinking water. I did find out that there is...
We know for sure about the drinking water. Some people were
Well,
drinking actual water.
Check the fountain.
The
That was-
fountain at the center of town is where many people get their source water from. I'm just suggesting that we don't know if it's from every drinking fountain or from one or several. Because we certainly know that they water down the drink here. It's a port town. And beyond that, I'm assuming you looked into it as much as I did when I got in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you were talking to her.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Vieric, you
Good
have
night.
a question.
Yeah. So we get sick from drinking the water. Do we get sick from touching the water?
It spreads by touch. Yes.
By touch, so that's assumedly so. I mean, really, when you drink it, it's just touching you on the inside.
You hear like a, oh, you mortals are gross. I don't want to think about that. He's like, Nick's just appears. It's like, first you go and you drink it, and worms all through you, and then you get a plague. I mean, that's just dice. But then it comes out of tubes. And then the girl tube is different to the man tube. That's just even more confusing. I don't...
Not always, actually. Depends on who you ask and who you're talking to and what the race, species, etc. is.
And this is just even more confusing. These are just more variables. More variables every time.
And I'm going to pull out a book I have on the races of Jarviskjir, and I'm going to hand it to Nick so he can read it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Different
jeez.
anatomy.
Brew it.
Yes.
We're friends, right? Cool, just checking.
Yeah, of course we are.
Cool.
Are you okay?
He's got a little black eye, a little cut lip.
There was a little man.
He was so fast.
It was, like, insane.
I need to learn
Halfling?
from him.
No, he was a man, but small.
All right. Good. Did he have an accent? And then Broad's going to try and mimic the Palmara accent as much as possible. It's butchered. It's horrible. It doesn't even sound remotely like it.
Yeah, he sounded just like that.
Oh, good. Yes. So he's a halfling
How are
then.
you so good at that?
Years of living here.
Wow. That's...
We gotta do that more often. We got
That's
so
something.
much gold.
Can you believe this guy?
Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna hold out like a bag of 100 gold pieces and be like,
And then Vieric puts his 13 on the table like, yeah.
oh, were you fighting people too for money?
In
Wow.
a sense.
Good for you.
Brew I'm. Hold on.
Whoa! There's dwarves have beards. That's what they've got hair growing out of their face.
Yes. Yes. Tobias here does as well. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's a man. Some
I
men
thought
do.
that was like a horn. Okay.
It is very similar.
In a sense.
It's very interesting because the way that horns form is actually very similar to the way that
You may have got away with it. You may have got the teacher
and hair
distracted.
form. It's very interesting. And then I'm going to turn to Vieric and I'm going to say you were battling people's perceptions and don't you lie about it. And then
I didn't lie. I just omitted the truth.
I can't be mad at you because we did that not long ago, but I'm wanting to be mad at you. But I would be a hypocrite if I was.
I'm just gonna be like flicking through the dictionary, just kind of like, you're being very auspicious right now, Baruit. That's my word of the day. I have one every day.
I'm
I try
proud
to
of you.
use it, but don't tell Baruit because I don't want him to think I'm a nerd.
Oh, don't worry.
And then I fall over and I'm asleep.
I will not tell Bruin. Alrighty then.
Nap time. crouches down and starts meditating, like on the spot, not just very.
Just down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turning to Aelinor, we're still awake.
What time is it even?
It is nighttime. It is, it's late night. They were out all day. All afternoon.
We did a lot of drinking.
The guards didn't know where the source of that fountain is, so I imagine we're going to need to find that source. It's likely that that's a source underground.
Mhm.
The other sources appear to be wells, so that would be underground as well. I would expect that we're probably going to encounter some resistance. Something like this, that is this persistent, either occurred naturally by some horrible malice of the universe, or occurred magically by some horrible malice from someone.
Do you think it was manufactured?
It would just be our luck that it was manufactured, that's all. We seem to run into this kind of thing all the time.
Well, these people are lucky we're here.
Well, by great effort or horrible, horrible luck, we do somehow seem to fix things. But often at a great cost. Let's hope this doesn't have as great of a cost.
I think we'll be fine.
I hope.
I have faith.
I still have a little bit left in me.
I'm glad to hear that.
I am going to pick Virik up and bring him to the other room and just set him down like he was before. So he can meditate in the room.
Donk.
I just let Tobias sleep wherever he lies.
Yeah, I am like, I was sitting on the floor, and then I'm just like horizontal now.
That's my move when I drink a lot.
I mean, I'm not going to
Probably
be
the
curing
Bible.
his hangover this time, so.
Nope.
Because I had to cure the disease.
Yep.
I don't know what you got till it's gone.
Okay, well, that's a perfect place to end off today. Perfect little moment. What a nice little time. You're back in the real world with real problems, like disease. So,
A very suspect disease.
I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. So why don't we start our circle of shame when we talk about who we are, why we are, and all the things that we do with our dungeon dad over here, who has a good experience being drunk, apparently. Wonder what...
Was that like just a little bit of shade I detected there?
We're not in the Shadowfell anymore.
Yeah, that's me.
Bad.
Dungeon dad. I have a YouTube channel. It's about D&D. I haven't uploaded on it in the past week and a half because I've been moving. I'm in a new house. It was a lot of work. It's still a lot of work because we're doing painting and renovations and stuff. So there's nothing new there right now. But starting tomorrow, I'll be getting back into it. So if you like D&D, if you like monsters, if you like everything related to tabletop games, that is the place to check out me and what I do there on YouTube. You can find me under Dungeon Dad. You can also find me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date on all the latest regarding hot new D&D monsters fresh off the PDF.
And
That's my
horrible day-ruining memes.
Also true.
Multiple
Also
times. Multiple times I have been debated by this man.
Yeah, that's so fair.
It does
I
happen
regret
a lot.
nothing.
Now, someone who hasn't ever debated me is Aaron. Aaron, who are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Oh,
I'm ready for bed.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm here. I do this on Sundays. I have some more stuff coming down soonish, but I'm also moving across the country, so that's fun. Again. So I'm busy at the moment, but you can chat with me on the Discord. And that's all.
Tesh, who are you? etc., etc.
I'm Tasha of the Test Tube. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Twitter's where you should follow me, but that is how I am today. But that Twitter is where I post all the things and keep up to date with all the things. And I need to do stuff to wake up. I need coffee.
I'm out of coffee. I have 1 cup of coffee left, and I'm waiting for the dire situation where I need it. Speaking of a dire situation and in need of it, Will, Lad Prime.
Hello.
Who are you? Why are you?
What
are you doing?
I am still sick, so working on feeling better. Mostly sleeping, which I'll be doing after this show. And then in my spare time, I'm writing a lot of the time. And right now playing Minecraft with friends. But that's a whole other thing. The main thing that's going to be going on with me for the next little while is recovery, and then once I am recovered, I will be starting up stuff again. You can follow me on Twitch. That is where stuff will be happening. It is twitch.tv/WillNGraham. All of the links to anything you would ever need me for are there, so you can find any other links below my channel there, and you can check it out. But mostly here on Sundays, and that's the coolest thing that I do in a week. So, why don't you tell me more about yourself, Ollie?
Well, I'm glad that you did ask, my friend William N. Graham. I am Ollie. There's a lot of stuff that happens in and around this channel. There's this game. It takes place on Sundays, midnight GMT, and then there is the Wednesday game that happens at 7 p.m. GMT that also takes place in Jarviskjir at... I only just realized how different... That game is pretty far in the past. That game is several months behind, but it takes place in a different part of the sea. Around Tron, you're actually closer to them now than you ever have been. Also, this show is supported by Patreon. If you support me for $5 or more on Patreon, you get access to another Jarviskjir show that takes place on Mondays. That's also happening at the same time. That is dealing with some real big shit. And I would want to listen to it if I weren't already DMing it. And there's also a vampire game that happens sometimes when I'm not super tired on there. My channel, I do art streams usually around 9 p.m. GMT at any given time on any different day. I'm currently working on a lot of Jarviskjir-based illustrations and commissions. I actually have a commission right now that's for a Gif Yankee pirate. And I don't think I've ever drawn a Gith before. So that's a bit of fun. And playing a lot of Apex Legends and hopefully aim to finish Pokemon at some point. But I'm just addicted to Apex Legends. It's a banter aggregate. It's not too bad. And I'm a friendly robot friend most of the time. That's that. We'll be here same bat time, same bat channel next week. While they try to cure a disease. See you later.
Bye.